Short-wavelength infrared radiation is sent to Earth from the Sun. This is absorbed by the surface of the Earth and is re-emitted as longer wavelength. Sometimes these rays can pass through the atmosphere, but a lot of the time they become trapped within the atmosphere due to greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide and methane. This in turn heats up the atmosphere. This process is required for the Earth to be habitable, as if it was not the case, then Earth would be too cold for humans to live. This has become an issue more recently though, as man-produced greenhouse gases have increased to a point that the Earth hasn't seen in the viewable past. This is continuing to happen, so Earth heats up at a higher rate. Earth is projected to increase by as much as 2.6 degrees by 2050.
Speaking of power, did you know that the UK gets approximately 42% of all of its power from the burning of fossil fuels and natural gas? This can be very harmful to the environment as it releases carbon dioxide, which is a greenhouse gas, which can increase the warming of the planet.
Today, scientists point to climate change as the biggest global health threat of the 21st century. It's a threat that impacts all of us, especially children, the elderly, low-income communities, and minorities, and in a variety of direct and indirect ways. As temperatures spike, so does the incidence of illness, emergency room visits, and deaths. There are more hot days in places where people aren't used to it. As says, they don't have air conditioning or can't afford it. 1 or 2 days isn't a big deal, but 4 days straight where temperatures can even go down, even at night, leads to health consequences. In the United States, hundreds of heat-related deaths occur each year due to direct impacts as indirect heat.
As humans, we faced a host of challenges, but we are certainly not the only ones catching heat. As land and sea undergo rapid changes, the animals that inhabit them are doomed to disappear if they don't adapt quickly enough. Someone will make it and some won't. According to the International Government Panel on Climate Change's 2014 assessment, many land, freshwater, and ocean species are shifting their geographic ranges to cooler climes or high altitudes in an attempt to escape warming. They're changing seasonal behaviors and traditional migration patterns too, and yet many still face increased extinction risk due to climate change. Indeed, a 2015 study showed that vertebrate species, animals, there has also been a decline in the population of elephants within the last 30 years, as seen with backbones like fish, birds, mammals, amphibians, and reptiles are disappearing 114 times faster than they should be, a phenomenon that has been linked to climate change, pollution, and deforestation.
The polar regions are particularly vulnerable to a warming atmosphere. Average temperatures in the Arctic are rising twice as fast as they are everywhere else on Earth, and the world's ice sheets are melting fast. This not only has grave consequences for the region's people, wildlife, and plants, its most serious impact may be on rising sea levels. By 2100, threatening coastal systems and low-lying areas, including entire island nations and the world's largest cities, including New York, Los Angeles, and Miami, and Sydney, and Rio de Janeiro. There's no question, climate change promises a frightening future, and it's too late to turn back on the clock. We've already taken care of that by pumping a century worth of pollution into the air nearly unchecked. Even if we stopped all carbon dioxide emissions tomorrow, we'll still see some effect, factors. That, of course, is the bad news. But there's also the good news. By aggressively reducing our global emissions now, we can avoid a lot of the severe consequences that climate change would otherwise bring.
Fred, what are your thoughts on climate change right now?
I think that climate change is very bad and that it's destroying lots of animals' habitats and that the environment is really suffering due to fossil fuels being combusted.
Wow, are you guys also talking about the effects of climate change?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know that within the next 2 decades, the global temperature will rise by 1.5%.
No.
It's
Oh,
1.5
is that true?
It's 1.5 degrees.
1.5 degrees.
That.
Did you also know?
Jack, what are your thoughts on climate change?
Climate